Gamer Dr. Lupo was in the middle of a 24-hour charity stream when he was given a check for $1 million from Twitch. The fundraising goal of $2 million for the Children's Cancer Foundation was immediately surpassed.
This is $1 million from Twitch.
I mean, it looks like now you just have to set a bigger goal next year.
Stop. I very officially say, fuck cancer.
Look at how fast this guy's running after the souvenir ball, only to give it to this little girl right after.
There it is. I was rooting for the girl myself. It's in the end. Yes.
Coco Johnson spent a whole year in the hospital and finally said farewell to sarcoma. So all of her neighbors decided to arrange a welcome home parade for her. This professor was very upset when none of his students turned off their cameras in the last lesson, but suddenly all of them showed up on the screen and he couldn't hold back his tears. After this fighter won the match, his opponent couldn't get back on his feet because he was in severe pain, so the winner returned to carry him to the medics.
Oh, look at that. There's a show of respect if you ever needed to see one.
A police officer stopped this motorcyclist and asked him to catch up with a bus to return a random woman her lost medicine, and the rider took off without a moment's hesitation. This wild lynx got caught in a trap, but it was lucky that this man decided to risk his own life to set it free. Oh look, that poor animal certainly wasn't expecting such kindness from humans. A pedestrian woman got trapped under a Mercedes after an incident, and random passersby lifted the 2.5-ton car just to save her. Fortunately, the woman was not hurt. This Zimbabwean farmer was supposed to throw away fruits that were unsuitable for export, but instead, he gave 3 trailers worth of oranges to hungry elephants and monkeys. This teen found a wallet with $1,500 and decided to return it to the owner. He just left the wallet on the porch without taking a cent. When a fireman pulled a dog from a burning house, the poor little guy could no longer breathe on his own. But these heroes fought for his life until they won. This little girl is taking a photo with her favorite team, not suspecting that the guys have a surprise for her.
Mama?
It's her mom, who she hasn't seen in a long 7 months. What a touching moment. This ride could have been the last for this motorcyclist if he hadn't dodged a blue SUV in time. When the car driver walked towards him, he was ready for anything but this.
Sorry. Very sorry. Thank you. Thank you for stopping. Thank you for stopping, sir. Yes. You have a good Memorial Day. Are you sure you're okay? I'm positive, thank you.
The huge sawfish ended up on the shore, and no one dared to help it, except for these 2 brave guys who weren't afraid of its sharp saw. And this big guy is helping his little bro to get out of the floodwaters. This man went to his favorite barbershop to shave his head due to cancer, so his barber decided to support him in a very touching way. And then everyone who was there at that moment joined him. An incredible example of support. This married couple saw a turtle that had washed ashore. It was entangled in fishing nets and could hardly breathe. The man was barely able to cut the nets and set the animal free, while his wife burst into tears. This old man saw a stray dog dying of thirst directly in front of a water source, so he gave the dog water straight from his hands. As they say, you can tell a lot about a person by how they treat a dog. A bike driver lost control in the middle of a busy highway, but the Audi driver reacted immediately. This man is just a regular school custodian. On his way to the gym to clean up, he wasn't expecting to receive this kind of surprise for National Custodial Workers Day. Look at how little it takes to make a whole bunch of strangers smile. This random Russian guy had no idea how to help this poor deer, but he refused to leave the animal in a crisis and did the impossible.
Вот молодец, красавец. Спасибо, хоть сказал бы.
This woman was trapped during a flood. Her car was quickly sinking in water, so these 3 men formed a human chain to save her at the last second. This guy had only one dream, to ride a real Lamborghini. And blogger Andy Popescu was able to make that dream come true.
Bang, pero sometimes pwede din minay, yung mampu ka kasyong kopir. Yo asya mamanipas, si parte tare, rio tu parte mord.
The owner of an expensive car was leaving a parking lot when he saw a poor man struggling to push a cart up a hill. He could have just driven by, but here's what he did. This is what it means to always remain human. This guy's car stalled right in the middle of a tunnel. Suddenly, a motorcyclist came to his aid, and then another. Together, they pushed the car out of the tunnel with their feet without even getting off their bikes. When protesters heard the sound of a siren, they immediately got out of the way so an ambulance could get to a person in need. When this poor girl was extremely emaciated and refused to eat, a veterinarian decided to eat breakfast from identical bowls with her in a cage, and it worked. If only everyone had a heart as big as this man does. This woman saw a stray dog asleep on the cold ground and decided to wrap it up with her scarf to protect it from the rain. This guy's load got scattered all over the road, and he certainly would not have had time to pick it all up by himself. Then, the orange car driver blocked traffic, and random people came to his aid. An old woman didn't have time to cross the road and was frightened when cars began to drive past her. Then, a scooter driver pulled over to make way for her. It only took a minute, but what a good deed. And that's all for today. If you've helped a stranger too, be sure to tell us about it in the comments. Don't forget, each of us can be someone's hero. Subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and see you next time.